All right. YouTube, what's good? It's your boy, Paulus Harris, aka Chris. Hey, if this your first time tuning in, go ahead, hit that doggone subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Anytime I post up new content, uh, as promised, we're gonna actually already try to get this. Uh, we're gonna get this show on the road today. Uh, just sent the link. Just waiting for my man to actually really link up. We're gonna sit up here. We're gonna talk about a few things. Uh, so basically, right now, I'm just actually really just waiting for him to uh, get this link going, and then we'll actually really get the show on the road. So uh, I sincerely hope that everybody, at least up until this point, is having a very productive Monday, wherever you at, here in the United States, or even if you're actually really across that water. Hey, it is what it is. So hey, we just gonna sit up here and I'm gonna wait for it for a little while. Matter of fact, I gotta do a little something right fast, so I'll be right back. Okay. See, it still nothing is going on. Uh, I'll give it like a few more seconds, and if not, oh, there it is. Uh, what's good?
What's happening, my man?
Another day, another 49 cents. So
I had a hell of a day.
yeah.
So what's up?
So did everything go pretty good?
Don't even get me going.
Oh, okay.
Don't even get me go. Yeah. You know what? This is a good way to. This is a good way to say it. Life happened. Things are
Yeah.
stressful, but
Uh,
ultimately, I guess they did. But no comment. Some of the
yeah.
personal stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah. But
So probably the wisest thing I could say.
okay, all right. That's you know what? I'll give you that. You know. So um well, topic of discussion, till like I say I understand that you got the you bought the book. So did you read it all the way through? I don't know how fast of a reader you are, but there's a lot of people that had bought the book and they was done with it probably like within 2 days, but uh like when we talked about last night, I when I did that book, I just want to do just enough where that to capture the reader's attention. Now, anybody that's actually like really have served with me, like yourself and other people, right? Y'all already understood how I did things, you know, and but anybody on the outside of that, you know, they don't know the rank structure, really not really knowing how we as people that has worn the uniform serve the country. A lot of the stuff they really don't understand. So they're like a couple of guys at the gym, right? They bought the book and they came back to me, and there's a lot of stuff they really didn't understand, like far as like the rank structure and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of stuff I had to actually like really uh, break down for them. But uh, all in all, like a lot of people, you know, on the outside, they're like, hey, good book, you really, I mean, because you get a lot of people, they really don't understand They really don't understand what we go through on a daily basis, you know, and not only while we're in, but once we actually like really leave, because for one, regardless of how fucked up the leadership may be, or consider how good the leadership may be, it's structured. You already know what the hell you're gonna do on a daily basis. You know you're gonna get up around about 5:30. The people gonna come through your room, inspect your room. Then you finna do PT up until 7:30, and then 09 is formation, and then from 09 to 11:30 you go into lunch. From 09 up until 11:30, we take lunch from 11:30 to 1, and then from 1 to 1600 or 16:30, end of day formation. You either going home or you going to your barracks, and depending on the type of,
It's very predictable.
yeah. So
And
so when you leave away from that, you like, well, damn, what's next? You know?
well, and the other side of that coin is when you do get away from that and you come back to like we were talking about yesterday, or in general, what I've been observing, um, when you come back to a society, come back to a town, you quote unquote they say thank you for your service,
Yeah.
meaning in service to your country, and you come back to see a country that is fucked, for lack
Yeah.
of a better word. Nobody wants to be that brash or that wrong. I'm attempting to be as kind as I can, but there's some things that I'm seeing
Uh-huh.
that are just like it's on the brink of destabilization. So to return to a place, that's just not anxiety, it's a reality, depending on where you're at and what you're seeing. Not like it's going to happen overnight, but
Yeah.
there's the hallmarks. There's little things that are concerning. So regardless if it's just a point of view or the way you've been living, or are you witnessing reality? It makes it very awkward for everybody. You know,
Yeah.
it's like I'm concerned by it, and individuals who are in the military who understand um, how things should go, how things can go bad as well. They
Yeah.
have a different point of view, I think. You know,
Yeah. So
it's interesting. You shouldn't be like so anxious that everything's a problem, but to see something, you know, meaning like I think I said in Operation Boiling Frog, I said it doesn't make you un-American or unpatriotic to say 9/11 was an inside job. It does make you un-American or unpatriotic to see a storm coming, understand a storm's coming, and then after shit goes wrong, saying, "Oh, I never saw the forecast," meaning like you
yeah.
knew what was coming. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Something to that effect. But like you gotta let people do, you gotta let society do what it's doing. But some things I'm seeing are concerning. And what you're talking about, the way things happen in the military and individuals who happen to be civilians are out of context on that. It's like they're also witnessing something on the civilian side in society now that we live in. We're no better or no worse. It's hard to like navigate because it's like, well, cartels could do what they're doing, thugs could do what they're doing. There used to be certain things going on. Now all of a sudden, there's no boundaries.
Yeah.
That shit's concerning to me. You know, what I
Yeah.
mean, if you live in like small nooks and crannies, maybe you don't see it, but in major metropolitan cities, and I just traveled across the nation,
Yeah.
um, and I'm pretty socially aware. Like I get along with most people,
Yeah.
but it's like, ooh, this is an issue a little bit. Not just like, oh, you're insensitive or oh, it's making you uncomfortable. No, 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 no. I know it's making a lot of people uncomfortable, but I'm saying this is like threat assessment. This is an issue.
Yeah.
There's some things just in the fabric of like society, you know. That's what's on my mind. I mean, I
Yeah.
just rushed here to get on this stream, and you would not even know what I've been through, what you do in particular. But the common
Yeah.
person sees somebody going through life, they don't understand that, you know.
Yeah. So my whole deal is like, okay, with all the stuff that's going on, right? Um, I mean, we've talked about the administration that's in now, and I think like me, you, and probably like a lot of other people, whether they are veterans or not, I really don't think that they. Well, I don't like what the fuck I'm saying. You know, you know, considering how the previous administration was, right? And I'm just like, okay, I was watching this video, and it was when Gerald Ford, former President Gerald Ford, he was already out of office, but a question was asked to him uh, about the first woman being president. And this was back in 1989, right? And he said that a woman will become president, but it won't be by formal means, meaning that
Hmm.
she's gonna have to run on a ticket with the man being president. Then, for whatever reason, he dies, and then she becomes president. So, and then I'm looking at, okay, well, if if Biden dies, then Kamala is president, and then she's gonna have to have a running buddy, right? Which, to my understanding, is Pelosi, right? So let's brainstorm, if you will. How how do you foresee that coming if it even happens?
Well, what I think it's like I'm echoing other people. It's very likely that something like this would happen. Maybe not those individuals, but within maybe the next cycle or the other one. So within 4 to 8 years, who knows? They might be moving, right now. But what I fear is it's based on like identity politics. Like they don't have Michelle Obama running. She knows what's up. They don't have Tulsi Gabbard running. She knows what's up. The idea that there's not like appropriate uh, CEOs and leaders of industry that happen to be female aren't viable. They are, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about these political assets. They're just punting the ball. It's a political football, and it's
Yeah,
like that's dangerous because it makes things very apparent that this is purely political versus defending the country. So it's
yeah,
like tit for tat. It's dangerous. So like when you see society change, it's like, oh, well, well, this is the way democracy happens. It's like, yeah, it does. Ask how that's also how it happened in Rome uh,
yeah,
before World War II. Ask about what Hitler thought. You know what I'm saying? Like there have been things that come to an end. I'm not saying the American idea is coming to an end, but you have the biggest industries, the biggest billionaires, the people who happen to live here drowning, talking about becoming multiplanetary as a species, and that's not by accident. I think they're
yeah,
saying it's ran its course. This place is not important. The idea is important. The idea when we came here. And then you have another group of people who says, well, excuse me, the idea resulted in you being the beneficiary, and we, we haven't benefited from this. But there's a way to do that. But the idea that this is like, I don't think BLM or Antifa is the representation of democracy. I don't believe
no,
that what Trump did and what these people are doing is the representation of democracy. This is a representation of fear. It's a reaction.
yeah,
Underneath all
yeah,
that, they're holding on to what they had. Whether if you're on one side, you've been suppressed your whole life, or if you're on the other side and you feel like someone's about to take what you've accumulated your whole life, what are you supposed to do? This is a natural reaction, but it's inappropriate. This is not rule of law. This is identity politics, and it results badly.
yeah.
Nobody
So
cares about nobody actually cares.
yeah, and so my whole deal is just like I said, I've been like paying
It's
attention
dangerous.
with this whole with President Trump, whatever. They was trying to get him on the stuff that happened in January, right, with the insurrection, right, and apparently I guess that fell through. So now they actually really trying to get him on some documents that he took from the White House. Now, me and you have talked about this, right? As far as like CQ and staff duty, whether
Right.
it's at battalion, brigade, or post level, right? Everything that you do, it has to be documented, right? So I'm just like, okay, and now, regardless of how long they keep those 1594s, I really don't know, but I just like this, right? You know, to document stuff is one thing, right? But and I just look at it like, okay, well, if you actually like really trying to purposely injure people or try to get over on people, then I got a problem with that. So it's kind of like what you said earlier with the whole 9/11 thing, which is what, roughly 3 weeks away, maybe with like 3 weeks away or 4 weeks away. You know, that's gonna be like the 21st anniversary of what
He
happened.
he said it. He said it. He was pushing his point. He's a guy who's reacting. He's basically saying like, this is not how we do things. This is not like SOP. This is not standard protocol.
Yeah,
So let me get this right. I didn't put Hillary in jail. Obama's been, who knows where he's at.
yeah, we ain't
If,
heard nothing
if
from
you're
him.
if you're smart enough, and I don't or Bush too. I don't give a damn. It really doesn't matter. Now they have it so polarized that it's like back in the day there really wasn't a big difference between Democrats and Republicans actually. Meaning like if you really worked in the Beltway when it came to like votes and stuff like that,
Uh-huh.
they weren't that far off. And Trump was so polarizing. My issue with him is I think he tried to work with them because um, he knew. Here's the thing: there's a lot of people who think he's like the Messiah.
Uh-huh.
He's not the Messiah. He's the lesser of two evils. He's not the lesser of two evils. Like he's not like I believe he means well, but it's like that's not your guy. That's a guy looking out for himself, and that's a
Yeah.
shame that that's what we need due to the climate. So it's
Uh-huh.
like, oh, you're so it makes him seem as if he's unbelievable. He's great because he started like pointing it out. Now he's falling victim to some things, and it's like, listen, there's some things he did that were sloppy, and the
Yeah.
argument could be made. There's an argument that could be made. Well, he did it because he's saving the country, and it's like, listen, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in
Yeah.
the same
Yeah.
game as everybody else, right? You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
that. I would love to believe that. Well, let's have him march down the right down the stairs with JFK as well. He knew
Yeah.
what he was doing. He knows what he's doing,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I hope he. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to make of it, but I do know this. When you see Biden and Kamala doing what they're doing, that's dangerous
Uh-huh.
because what they are, the pendulum swinging this way, this way. So for Trump, you have this. It's like it could get this bad. And what I would say is what we're witnessing, and we don't realize it, is the actual creation of a moderate or what they'll call centrist party, which they'll call George Bush a guy who's moderate, not far left, not far right. They'll call Barack Obama types the same thing. Mitt Romney types the same thing. Keep the machine working. You guys are causing too much
Yeah.
trouble. I think what's happening is a pivot in democracy, or it is the end of this American republic or democracy. It's one or the other. It's not like, oh, we're just
Yeah.
going through something normal. It's like, no, there's one thing if it's like, get your umbrella, it's supposed to rain today, versus, hey, there's a category 5 hurricane coming. You wouldn't say grab
Yeah.
your umbrella. You put shutters on the windows. You evacuate in worst case. And quite frankly, there's fatalities, unfortunately. And I think people
Yeah.
aren't reading the forecast right. I think we're witnessing them holding on. Like, how do we salvage this bullshit?
Yeah. Exactly.
And they picked
I
the
just
wrong one with Biden and the Hunter laptop, and they picked the wrong one with Trump. They both got the same problems. It's fucked. And they have a spell on the mainstream public.
yeah.
So anything that you happen to disagree with, you'll say, well, Trump was strong and this wouldn't happen if he was there. Anything that's great, you could go either way depending on what your point of view is, but it's so volatile. It can't be that fragile. It can't be threatened by every single decision, every single every
Yeah,
single election. It cannot be that fragile. There's a point that why they made pillars and branches of government, and that's been thrown out the window because, quite frankly, the way it's going on the other side is the branches of government are racist. I mean,
yeah,
if you keep going,
yeah. But you know
and
what though?
if you go on the other side, you'll say, "Well, you're out of date. This is the product of democracy. It's our time now." So it's sort of like it's a snake eating its tail.
Yeah. But you know what though? I just look at it like this. You know, I mean, depending on, I mean, because just like I said, you know, I've been around. I've been around for a pretty good while, right? So I've seen a lot of, you know, I can go back as far as the Reagan administration, and I can look at all this stuff, what Reagan did, then it was Bush, it was Bush twice, then it was Clinton, then it was uh, Bush again, right? You know, then I'm looking at all of this stuff on what they did, and you know, I'm just like, okay, I will always, for me, I would always say that it's always been dangerous, you know, because of the agenda that they have to follow. You know, I mean,
Mm,
because it's too easy. It's too easy for say for anybody that's gonna run for president, and then they come in there and they can say, "Well, hey, you know what? When I get in office, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do the other." Right?
right.
And and if you say it enough times, if you say it enough times, people will believe you. Then they gonna go to the voting booth and they gonna vote for you. But then
Yep.
as soon as you raise your right hand, you take that over, whatever, then the shit changes, right? So, and then I know I was talking on my Facebook page, I think maybe about a year ago or 2 years ago, and I said it then. I said, look, I will never, the only way that I will vote for somebody, put like this, if say like whoever the next election, whether it's these two people that's running, or if Trump comes back and run, or if it's somebody that's acting like really brand new, right? And let's just say that they bring their little parade to Little Rock, Arkansas, and I just happen to go to the town hall meeting, and they look at me and they ask me, "Okay, Mr. Harris, what would it take for you? What is it can I do for you to win your vote in the
Hmm.
next presidential election?" And so basically, considering he already know who the hell I am, he know my credentials, he know that I'm a 21-year veteran, right? So my whole deal is this: I'm like, okay, Mr. President, if indeed you want my goddamn vote, this is what the hell you gonna have to do, right? All veterans, and just don't sit up here and shake your head. Okay, we'll take care of it. No, you really put somebody behind that shit, right? To make sure that we actually really get our goddamn just due, right? Because there's a
Yeah.
lot of us out there. There's a lot of us out there that have put in the work. And just for the simple fact, you ain't necessarily got to do 21 years like I did. It's just for the simple fact, goddamn it, you was in there long enough to raise your hand, right?
Work
Did
your
a
ass off.
deployment, and you didn't you and probably saw some shit that you wasn't supposed to see. But it's
Right.
just for the simple the love of your country. You raised your right hand. You went over there. You did what you had to do. You came back, and then it's just for the simple fact. The reason why I'll tell you this right now. I think the reason why 22 of us every day kills our we knock each other off because it's just for the simple fact that we done heard suck it up and drive on too goddamn much, right? Or we really have no confidence and the government that we defended,
Yep.
right? So I'm like, so I just look like this until that shit changes, and it's just for the fact I don't look. Stop taking taxes out of my goddamn retirement check. You
Oh,
do
that's insane to begin
you
with.
you do that.
That is even insane to begin with. Really? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
really? And it's like it becomes obvious. It's my entire childhood, and I'm much younger than you are, but I'm piggybacking on what you're saying. I
yeah,
bought into it. It was like you put the time in, you put the work in, regardless, you're doing it for the right reason. You're in the greatest place on earth. People are like talking shit about America now. It's like even Trump said it. This is an embarrassment. This is something that happens in a third world country. This is a banana republic. This is not regardless if you like the guy or hate him, he was the latest sitting president before the one we have now. He's not just like
yeah,
some dude who didn't win. He's not some guy who wasn't the commander in chief. Whether you like it or not, you should respect the office. It's like, well, who told you to say that? The general. What the fuck's the difference? A lieutenant told me. It's like, whoa, 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 whoa. If you don't have that, what's the
yeah,
difference between that and a cartel?
yeah. So,
Standards, standards,
uh-huh.
continuity of government, history. Yeah, but I don't like this fucking thing. I don't like this. Like, you don't know what the fuck you like or don't like. Be quiet. You have to have a backbone. You have to have a country, and they're getting wild on both sides, man. And it's dangerous what they're doing. And
Yeah,
it's a real damn shame for guys like you who dedicated their lives to a country, fought for a country, sacrificed for a country, livelihood, personal relationships, years of their life, and they come back and it's nonsense. And it's just like, oh, you're out of touch. It's just the world's changing. It's like Rome's burning, bitch. That's what's happening. Don't
yeah,
fucking piss on my leg and tell
exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Like, don't do. It's devastating.
Yeah, I mean because I just because like when I was preparing to make that transition from army life to civilian life, I got my medical records all together and everything was legit. But then again, they shot all my shit down, and then for the longest, I was only getting 10%, and that was for my ears, right?
That is
So
wild.
and so for me, right, I just look at it like this: I gave you 21 years, right? I'm Cause let's put it like this: I was 43, about to turn 44 when I retired, right? And so so depending on how you look at it, comparing the American soldier, regardless of branch, to the professional athlete. I'm not doing that, but at the same time, though, right? If you actually really stop and think about the work that we put in, you
Hmm.
actually like really could compare us to the professional athlete, regardless of sport. The only difference is that we put like this: we on painkillers, we drinking alcohol just like them bastards are. The only difference is that they get paid a hell of a lot more than us, and it's just for the simple fact when they get out there and play, right? They lose, they get to come back next Sunday and do it again. But let one of us lose, ain't no goddamn next Sunday. We out of there,
And
and
they
we out
look
of there
and they
right.
look at and they're looking to. I'm not going to be like a LeBron James hater or a Tom Brady hater or whoever, whatever athlete. Just because they're an athlete doesn't mean they don't know what they're saying. But quite frankly, to say like to piggyback on what you're saying, there is no professional sports in a country with an industry that allows an industry like that without security, without defending, without doing this. And they generate billions of dollars and sometimes, well, most of the time, from foreign individuals and certain political parties that are mingling with foreign countries, and they'll do a flyover. with a B-52, couple,
Yeah.
F-35s or some shit, and it's like, woo! It's like the national anthem is like, that was pretty good, but how's the halftime show going to be? And it's like,
Yeah.
do you understand what the fuck is happening? And
Yeah.
there's no nationalism. Like there's no, you should be proud to. Well, at least when I would travel back and forth between here and Morocco when I was a kid, on like on summers and whatnot, and it was like you had to be super proud to be an American. It was like, oh damn, like it had some clout. Like, oh, you're an American. Not like you're
Yeah.
rubbing it in someone's face, but it's like it was a thing. And
Uh,
now it's as if it's like you've done something wrong. And it's
yeah.
like, oh, that's gonna get dangerous. Because it's like
Yeah.
I think I said this over the years. It's much more complicated and I don't claim to understand everything. I'm just explaining my point of view. But
Yeah.
I'm witnessing what's going on like a hotel room or a rental car situation. I don't treat a hotel room the same way I treat my home. And I do not treat a
Right.
rental car the same way I treat my everyday vehicle
Exactly.
for obvious reasons. But you should, if you have integrity, you should, ideally, if you do. But insurance companies who do this for a living understand the difference. And every human being who's listening to this understands the difference in what I just said. This is
Uh-huh.
being treated like a side piece, not your main chick. That's for the kid. That's for the kids listening.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'll tell you
That's
what
not
though now.
sustainable, though.
Yeah. But
How do you take an insurance policy out on your? I'm just kidding.
yeah. But it's funny. Like
That was pretty good.
brought up
I'm
you brought up
sorry.
LeBron James. You brought
Shut
up
up and
LeBron.
dribble.
You
Yeah.
brought up LeBron James, and like with the whole thing that's going on with Brittany Griner, right?
Oh,
So LeBron he said his piece, right? And then everybody got pissed off. Now here comes Dennis Rodman, right? He's been retired like forever today. So now he's going to go over to Russia, right? And try to talk to Putin for whatever reason, right?
oh.
And so I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, so you go over here, and I'm just like, okay, well, what makes you any different than
I'm
Biden?
sorry. That is hilarious. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm just
That
saying
is
now, now,
that
now the
is
thing about it though
tremendous.
is this. Now it'll be funny. It'll be motherfucking hilarious, right? If okay, say he do go over there, he talk whatever the fuck he need to talk, and then he bring it up back home. So I'm just like, okay,
What
so
I'm trying to, but if I was Putin, it's the most brilliant thing you could do. Say, look,
yeah,
I am reasonable. Look, I am reasonable. I am being
yeah,
diplomatic. I am willing to have talks. It's you people. You shut the world down for Operation COVID. Excuse me. I mean,
yeah,
COVID-19,
yeah,
which was basically a an orientation on how to be a fucking whipping boy. You're gonna
yeah,
sit there. You're gonna like it, and we're gonna give you a little bit of money, and you won't do shit. Let's get that right.
yeah,
You want to go against the grain? Do something. Look
yeah,
what they did with Alex Jones. Look what they did with January 6th. Look what they. It was a masterclass of what this backbone or lack of a backbone of what these people are willing to do.
yeah,
Masterclass. So if I
yeah.
was Putin, so
Because
you're saying, oh Zach, so you're pro Putin? No, you can't put it in that box. The guy's a human being. He happens to be from Russia. He happens to have a brain. He's not, believe it or not, he's not fucking Superman. He's not a Marvel character. He's a guy running a country dealing with crazy shit, doing crazy shit, and he may be wrong, he may be right, but this is not how democracy works. I don't know if you guys noticed or not. Trump told him on record, even go try to go in to fucking anywhere, and we'll blow your ass off the planet. He didn't do shit. The administration before him, Obama, they went into Georgia. I was in basic training where this shit happened when they went into Georgia. People forget this, the whole Caucasus and Crimea and this shit. This has been going on. And he's
Yeah.
been doing it and advancing under Democratic leadership. Isn't that convenient? And then all of a sudden there's a big whodunit. A big whodunit. You're a Russian agent, bullshit. Everyone knows it's bullshit, but nobody cares. You don't see an issue on that
Okay.
timeline?
Yeah. So let me ask you this then, right?
Pretty convenient, if you ask me.
Yeah. So here's the deal. Say Rodman does go over there, talks to Putin, and a deal is made, right? I mean, now I'm just looking at it like this. Now, if I'm president,
Operation Worm.
I'm just like, okay, if that ain't like the biggest slap in the face, I don't know what the fuck is, because it's almost like, okay, here's somebody that for the most part, he don't know shit about politics. He was a basketball player. Right?
Don't know shit about politics. Forget. Think if you could even get a basketball player. He's certifiably out of his goddamn mind. And alcoholic, like he's gone. But it's like this is the state of global affairs where we have to have somebody who's zooted out of their mind on record, willing to be a sacrificial lamb for public clout. And they could say under public affairs, I'm not even gonna get into it, but under certain operations and security agencies, they'll say he's being utilized. No, he's not. He's being utilized by borderline personality disorder. Allegedly, I'm not here to get sued and defamed, but he's obviously not a stable person. He's a public individual. He's not some high-level diplomat. He's not a general. He's not a politician. Enough. And you know what it would do? It would create media buzz. And it seems like the media buzz is running the world, and that's dangerous. It's unsustainable.
Yeah.
Good for a little bit. Listen, and to be clear, I'm a Dennis Rodman fan. I watched the documentary on him in North Korea. I've watched him on celebrity shows. I'm a sports fan. I understand what he does, but I also understand who he is as an individual, and he's not a diplomat.
Yeah.
He's like, if he went over there and got her out of there, if I was their family or somebody who wanted to watch something interesting, I'd say great. But the idea that needs to happen is like, it's unbelievable. You got Dennis Rodman solving a Russia Cold War issue, and you have Kim Kardashian getting clemency in the White House. Like, this place is gone. It's cuckoo land.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said,
it's cuckoo land.
It's a downplay, a serious downplay of what this country was built upon. I mean, it's like, okay, I mean, put it like this: war is the last resort. You and I know that, right?
Yeah.
But I'm just looking at the simple fact. Okay, here it is that you gonna let somebody that, for the most part, that, like I say, doesn't understand politics, right? And then he's gonna go over here and talk to this guy and be like, okay, well, all right. And then it like I said, it would shock me, but then again it wouldn't, because
here's the thing, though.
Like,
but here's the thing that's important that's not being said. The only reason they're saying it is because he made a fool of himself in North Korea, which is a ridiculous, like it's so backwards as a nation. They're so suppressed. It's so fucked up. Everyone knows it. And what they don't know about the leader of North Korea is he was raised in a Western school in Switzerland, right? And grew up during the heyday. He's a young man, by the way. He grew up during the heyday when the Chicago Bulls were incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. He's a fanboy. So you got Dennis Rodman, you got Pippen, you got Jordan, right? One of the three. So he goes over there. It's not like there's some great deal going on. It's ridiculous. It's political maneuvering. It's completely inappropriate. They went over there, and if you watch the documentary on Showtime, It was one of the most brilliant things I ever watched. It was hilarious if it wasn't true. I was watching it like as a consumer, like I'm watching like Hangover or something. He got
Uh-huh.
fucked up. The guys he brought over there, the Harlem Globetrotter, right?
Yeah.
They did this underneath the disguise of this is like a diplomatical reaching our handout program. Bullshit. Dennis Rodman got zooted. These guys who moved on from basketball were like embarrassed by the fact that he was out of his goddamn mind. And subsequently in interviews, Dennis Rodman has admitted such. And it's such low level diplomatic maneuvering that it's like other countries aren't taking this shit serious anymore. So it's like it's either it's pay for play if you're looking into the Hunter Biden laptop and China's really running the shots, or they're completely incompetent. In which case, what the fuck's the difference?
Yeah. So
And then
I
also
mean,
cancel
but
Alex Jones. Cancel. They didn't cancel Alex Jones. It's a precedent within courts to cancel the First Amendment, as other countries, namely China, do.
yeah.
Shit is
But
insane.
again, but you know what though?
Guy
Yeah.
was out of his
But
mind,
you
getting
know, but
fucked up, acting like a hero.
yeah, but you know what though? It goes back to like what I said previously. You know, it's like okay, history. Like this, if you've been around long enough, then you can sit up here and say, okay, well, history repeats itself. As far as like the Iran, I in '91 with Desert Storm, right? And then 2001, right? And then I'm looking at what's happening now, and I'm like, okay, damn, I didn't see this shit before, right?
It's
And
the same
and
playbook.
so again, I just think that if people actually like really stop and pay attention, then they be like, okay, well, damn, we seen this before, right? We
You would
seen
think.
this before. We already know what the fuck they gonna do next. So I'm just like, okay, well, I'm just like, you know, and with like with a lot of these people, a lot of these people in the channels, YouTube channels, all this kind of stuff, clown the shit out of LeBron James for what he said, right? So I'm just like, okay, well, you quick to call, you quick to jump on that bullshit, right? But let's see how well you do when you let's see if you're gonna jump on bullshit at a bigger level, on a global level, right? I mean, because it's always easy to pick on one person, right? Shit, you're a basketball player. That man said what the hell he wanted to say, but I'm just like, okay, these are the
Listen,
same people.
he's so aware. He's so aware that when they brought up Taiwan, he was pro China because the NBA makes a majority of its revenue from China. Let's get that right.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
majorly successful overseas. And there was a whole thing where he made a tweet. He's done this several times, by the way, with the police that killed a black girl who was stabbing another black girl, and the police officer had to
yeah.
shoot this whole thing. And he says, "Time is coming," or a clock emoji. Like, what? What are you talking about?
Uh-huh.
And then he has an issue about a Taiwan comment saying Taiwan deserves to exist. Yet, by all accounts, he's on the left. He thinks he's on the left. But Nancy Pelosi's
Yeah.
flying into Taiwan. He has no fucking idea. You know why? Because he's one of the greatest basketball players the world has ever seen. He's not a fucking diplomat. He's being utilized. Like, what the fuck? And eventually, this will get out, right? And I'll have to be in a room with LeBron or Dennis Rodman. I'm like, you know how fucked up this is? They're gonna be like, oh, you're the guy who hates me. You're the guy who's a piece of shit. It's like, no, I was a huge fan. I'm a super LeBron fan. I'm a super Dennis Rodman fan, but make no mistake, I'm a fan of you playing basketball. So you're saying shut up
Yeah.
and dribble. No, that's not what I'm saying. Um, are you saying you're a diplomat? Because if that's the case, I think we have a right to vote on it.
Yeah, exactly.
You fucking
You
crazy
know?
person. Or as he said, in his famous interview when he left the Cleveland Cavaliers and went to the Miami Heat the first time he was traded, before he traded several times, right? He said, it was a press conference for whether he was going to stay or when he was a free agent. He says, "I'm going to
Yeah.
take my talents to South Beach." That's what he said. That's a famous thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to take on ESPN. I'm going to take my talents to South Beach. Um. Well, why don't you take your talents to Washington D.C. if you're that great, right? And I'm not talking about the
Yeah.
Wizards.
Exactly.
I'm not talking about the Wizards. We've seen Michael do that. He'll never be him, my man. But he was done, dog. Now he owns teams.
Yeah.
Got that right. So it's like, come on, man. This country's in real trouble if you got this dude doing that. It's just not. And the fact that it's so effective, it shows like what the community is thinking, what the society's thinking. It's like it's not appropriate. And this will come off as like, Zach, I
Yeah.
can't
So
believe you're saying that. I believe that. I'm a fan of
yeah.
him as an athlete. I'm a fan of him as an individual, where he came from, what he did. I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm a hater of the thinking, the clout thinking that this affects society, or Kim Kardashian's appropriate to be there, or Kanye West is appropriate. Anybody. It's like, what are you talking about? Or Sean Penn should be catching El Chapo when he did that. It's like, we have, if that's what it takes, then shit. Get these actresses and actors and athletes in here then. What are they waiting for?
Yeah. You know,
Waiting
it's
for the
almost as
moment.
bad. I used to I used to watch Night
You're
Court
not Muhammad
back in
Ali.
the day.
He actually made a stand.
Uh-huh. But
No, he's
I
literally
think
Muhammad Ali.
like with
Muhammad Ali lost his livelihood to take an actual political stand.
yeah.
And these people
But
are,
the thing
they're like,
about
I'm doing the Muhammad Ali thing. A tweet that you delete because you're a dumbass does not make you Muhammad Ali, my man. That guy went to jail in his prime when
exactly.
he was going through shit. So it's actually
Yeah.
highly disrespectful,
Got
quite frankly.
yeah. He got yeah, because he like he said he wasn't gonna fight somebody that, you know, they ain't never he what was his famous quote said, ain't no Viet Cong never called me nigga, you know, but you know,
And he took
you know,
at the
my
height of his career, went to jail for it.
yeah.
A tweet is
Yeah,
not that. Being a
yeah,
washed
you
up
already know.
athlete, you know what? LeBron also tweeted about Britney in Russia. I can promise you one thing: he ain't going over there to get her.
Yeah,
You get
exactly.
enough drinks in debt, you get enough drinks in Rodman, he'll go anywhere. He's a madman,
Exactly.
and I'm a Dennis Rodman fan.
But my whole deal is, I don't know if it was the coach, but they were saying like, okay, well, if it was LeBron James, they would have
Did you see
brought him home.
LeBron's?
So I
Did
just
you
like,
see
okay,
his tweet on her, or his quote on her,
I didn't see
where
that
he's
one. I might have seen
oh, it's on a show, an HBO show, where it's called like they're in a barbershop and they sit there. And it's really good
oh, they
actually. They have like
about
a
the
lot of
dust.
great. Yeah, but he said if
Yeah,
I
I
was
know.
her, I wouldn't. If I was her, I wouldn't even want to come back to this country. Meaning like the country's not doing nothing for her. And it's like, listen,
Yeah,
you stupid fuck. You could dunk on me all day, but if this was a well, maybe I shouldn't even say that. It's just you're not going over there and doing shit. Go get her then. What you waiting for?
yeah,
Go
you
get
know.
her.
But you know, and then like I said, you know, everybody, you know, they clown him for saying it, you know. But then here's my deal. Here's my thing. Okay. So she went over there with some. He went over there with some vape or whatever, right? And I'm looking. So I'm looking at this. I'm like, okay, so they finna give her 10 years, or they gave her 9 years because she had some vape or whatever. But I'm also looking at the simple fact that ships of this shit is being brought in, right?
How
Ships
about
of it.
this? How about this? There's people in this country, tens of thousands, who are currently incarcerated, who are American citizens on American soil in private industry complexes, private prison industrial complexes, serving it. Nobody has an issue with
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You know,
No, no,
you
I
know,
mean, I'm talking about right now, today, in America,
yeah,
not in Russia. We can't go over to another country. We can't do nothing. Bullshit. You could go right down to any state in America. There is
uh-huh,
a private prison complex holding those people to this day.
yeah. Is it the
So
one that I? If it's is it the one that I think that it is? That's way out there that you got to get a magnifying glass to see it on the map. You already know
that's
what you already know what I'm talking about.
oh yeah, this shit's
You
getting out
already
of
know what I'm
control.
talking about. Yeah.
Yep.
So you know, I just me
It's wild,
personally,
man.
you know, and this and you know, this is why I keep
Hey,
saying,
hey, look, we're at also we're at 51 minutes, right?
yeah,
I'm gonna give you the last because I've been chiming in too much. I want to give you the last. Let's do another 5 or 6 just for this one before I have
okay,
to reset, and we could talk offline if you want to. But
okay,
let's keep it here for a test run because I mean we could literally just keep this going. I mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I intended
Because
on doing it on my
people,
laptop, but I was rushing and then I pulled it up and it wasn't working initially.
yeah, because people been because you know I'm looking at it. You know, people been chiming in. You know, it's like they watch and then they leave. They watch and then they leave, and then they watch and then they leave. Like somebody's watching
Damn.
now. I don't know who it is, right? But it's like somebody's watching now. So, but um, my whole deal
It's
is,
Hunter Biden.
yeah. But you know,
It's Hunter, my man. What's that? It's LeBron James. What's up, my man?
oh yeah, that's David. You know,
What's
David
up,
is
David?
like then showed up. Yeah. So, but you know what though? My whole
Hold on,
deal
David. What do you think
is
about what's being said? We've been ranting. I don't know who David is, but I'd love to hear it. He's a human being on this
yeah,
planet. He deserves it.
I think he's been one of the like when we was doing this a while back. He was one of the
Oh,
ones
okay.
that would chime in. He would always chime in. He always he was one of the ones that actually really agreed. You know, to a lot of the
Do you
stuff
want to keep it?
that we
Hey, let's
say.
keep it going for a little bit. Hey, just give me like
Okay.
we'll let him message. Just give me like a minute. I'm gonna go grab this charger on this. I should have been more prepared.
Okay.
I'm sorry. You know what I was dealing with
Yeah.
earlier. I
Right.
rushed in here.
All right. Well, you go ahead and do that. I'm gonna take a piss break. I'm gonna keep this going.
Yeah, let's take.
But
Hey,
yeah,
how about this?
David, if
Let's
you
take.
watch it,
Hello.
no, I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna. I'm not because I'm not gonna stop this. I'm like, well, matter of
No,
fact, you go ahead. You do what you got. You do what you got to do,
I'm
and I'll wait on you, and then I'll go. So
I'm
I
just
don't
gonna.
want to stop.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like you're gonna keep the stream going.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
You just. Oh, here you go, right here. He said.
Yeah, exactly, my man. Exactly.
So,
I'll be right back.
okay. All right. So yeah, you know, my whole deal is it's just for the simple fact that I hit David. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying, but how about this, right? You know, you got boats and boats of this shit coming in, right? In the U.S., right? You know, and put like this, I'm pretty sure you've been around a pretty good while, just like I have, right? In the 80s, it was the drug war. You know, everybody wanted, it was a war on drugs. We gonna stop drugs from coming in this country. And it's just for the simple fact that okay, they knew how the shit was coming in. You know how it's coming in, right? But I'm just like this. It's still it's well, apparently it's still a doggone problem. And this was something that they was talking about in the late '80s, early '90s. I mean, it was the big push. It was the big push. But then after that, it was almost like, okay, well, we pushed, but ain't nothing else going on. Ain't nothing else has happened. But I get it. Everybody, different countries, different laws, what have you. It's just for the simple fact that this whole Brittany Griner thing, for me, right? I just think that it's a bunch of bullshit, if you ask me, right? You know, because this happened. This happened right around the same time of the start of the war with Russia and the Ukraine, right? And so I just feel like, oh well, it is that you're a professional basketball player. You're from the United States, right? You got this vape. And it's not like you actually finna distribute it to anybody, right? But oh, we gonna capture you. We gonna put you in jail, right? It's almost like, okay, well, yeah, when you come over here and then we gonna hold up, we gonna have us hostage that actually really try to keep the United States out of play. And but then again, I look at it like this, right? Yeah, yeah, we're seeing it on television. Yeah, we're acting like really, we seeing everything on television, right? But I just look at it like this, right? Just because it is television, doesn't necessarily mean that that shit is actually really happening, right? You know, this is almost like that one episode of Star Trek, the original series, right? At one point, people will go to war, and people actually really died. Then after a while, all this shit was actually really simulated. It was all simulated. I mean, yeah, people may have died, and then they actually really came in there. Kirk and crew, they came in there. They shut all that shit down. They was like, "Hey, look, you ain't gotta fight no more. People dying over some nonsense." So I'm just like, come on now. I'm not saying that. I mean, is it that advanced now? Yeah, I would say that it was that advanced even back then. It's just, it is what it is. For me, it all depends on how you as the individual you look at this. But since you're here, David, if indeed that's still you, right? You haven't seen this already, right? It's on Amazon. Type in book by Curtis Harris. Go ahead, pick up your copy. It's about my career, my 21-year career, about all of the places I've been, people I've met, you know, and just know that Zachary Lee Kawan is one of them. That's the main reason why we're actually really doing this podcast now. So, or at least this is what we're actually really trying to get it back up and running. So, hey, it is, it is what it is, people. And he's actually like really taking just a little bit too long. So, uh, just know this: I'm gonna take a quick commercial break. Oh, okay. So yeah, I'm in the war drugs. Oh yeah. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. You actually really know. You actually really know the deal. You actually really know what's going on. You know, and I just feel like, hey, look, it's people like you that is actually really not naive to the fact that, okay, hey, look, we all know that this is bullshit. A lot of the stuff that goes on, this is bullshit. You know, and to be perfectly honest, I think the United States government, along with these other governments, it's just not the United States government. It's with all these governments. A lot of this stuff that they actually are really trying to push, trying to perpetrate, a lot of it is bullshit. It's straight up bullshit. And you know, I get, I mean, because what I think what's happening now is that everybody always holler about the new world order this, the new world order that, the new world order the other. Talking about, oh, it's coming. No, it's been here, right? Everybody talking about, okay, well, all this stuff is gonna be nothing but just one big ass government. Guess what? That shit is already, it already has happened. It already has happened, right? So, uh, regardless, regardless of what the average person may see on television, right? Where that they say, oh, it's coming. No, it's already, it's been here. Matter of fact, it's been here so goddamn long till it's ridiculous, right? Oh yeah, they do the same thing with me. They call me they call me a conspiracy theorist. You know, uh, especially like a few years back. I was on some other channels, and yeah, that's what they actually really call me. They call me a conspiracy theorist. So it is what it is. But uh, I gotta take this commercial break right fast. I'll be right back.
You still there, Kurt? Hello. What's going on?
All right,
You
I'm
still there?
back. Yeah, I just got back. I hear you, but I don't see you. All right, there you go. So, just to give you, this is what David has said previously. I'll let you look at that again. That's what he said. Talking about the war on drugs or what have you, right? So he said that,
Oh yeah,
and
Barry Seal.
and, and then I
How
was
about
telling him about,
how about even better than that? Not better than that. Along the same line as that. Um, what they call it? Operation something, where Eric Holder, they had the guns running from Fort Bliss down to the cartels. Operation
oh yeah, yeah, I remember
something.
that. I
I,
remember
I
that.
it's
I,
it's
I
evading
forget
me,
what it was.
but basically they're saying like we're gonna track the serial numbers, we're gonna track blah blah blah. But it ended up those guns ended up in Libya. Those guns ended up all over, killing border patrol agents. Operation something. It's a quick
I
Google
forget what it
search.
was, but I remember that. I remember about the, I remember that quite well. So, but
So it's like it goes along with what he was saying.
yeah, I mean, but my whole deal is that what I was telling David is that you know motherfuckers holler about new world order this, that, the third, and I'm like, the new world order has. It's been here so long till it's ridiculous, right? The the global the global government has been here so long till it's ridiculous because, again, I look at it like this. Oh, there it is. He just said it.
What do you say?
Yeah, he just posted it up right there. He says, Obama Operation Fast and Furious. Uh oh. All right, well, we lost contact. So he got the link, so he'll bring it, he'll come back up, you know. So, and while we wait for him to for Zach to come back, so let me ask you this. So what do you think about all this stuff that's going on with former President Trump and the whole his house getting raided by the FBI because he supposedly had taken some documents or what have you, taking documents that he was supposed to take. So, what are your actually really? What are your thoughts on that? You know, because me personally, I just look at it like this, right? If it just it just goes to show you that as far as how I look at it, it just goes to show you that the United States government, right, are actually like really doing. They actually like really doing 9 times out of 10. They actually really doing some shit that they ain't got no business doing, right? I mean, I get the fact, yeah, you the former president, okay. They may look at it like, okay, well, why do you need these documents? But at the same time, I'm just like, okay, um, you know, why should it matter what documents did I actually really take out the White House? Especially if it's something, especially if these documents are actually like really dealing with me in some sort of in some type of fashion. So that's just how I look at it. Okay, yeah, we getting him back. You know,
Cut off.
okay, all right, we got you
You guys
back.
got me or no?
So yeah, but yeah, but this is what he said. Hold on, this is what he said. 'Cause I don't know if you saw it or
Fast
not.
and
So
Furious.
that's what he said right
100%.
there.
That's what it's called. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
So they were running, and this was when AIT used to be. I don't have to tell you, but now it's in Fort Sill, but it was in Fort Bliss, and they had a huge issue.
yeah.
People used to go down to Juarez, and they were running. This is not my opinion. This is fact. Under Eric Holder, they were running guns down to the cartel. And the reason this is significant, well, for obvious reasons, it should be significant, correct? But when they were in Libya, they found those guns with those serial numbers. So it's like,
Oh,
so let me get this shit straight. Isn't that nice? Isn't that good? Isn't that good? How the fuck did this happen? And you go, oh, very nice.
yeah. I mean, but again, you know, you look at all of this stuff.
It's
You look
fucked
at
up,
all of
man.
this stuff. Hold on. He just said something else. Let's bring that up. So
What you said? Damn, I need to get this on my
basically,
computer. We need a studio set up, my man.
yeah. So basically, what he said, I hear lots of things, child trafficking, evidence of Democrats, etc. But FBI could just ask, not that Trump doesn't have copies. It could be an excuse to plant evidence to get him out of the way. So, because I asked him about the whole stuff that went down, because like the FBI, they seized his house because he took those I don't know how many documents that he took, right? But apparently he took a lot of documents that he was supposed to take, right? And and it just so happened that when they took the documents out of his house, he wasn't there. So
Do you know what
and
a
so
do you know, like in sports, when they say it's a gentleman's rule, like when it comes to
yeah,
rules, meaning like in golf, I mean it's in every sport really, but there's certain things that you don't do out of like tradition and courtesy, but it's technically not a rule. And what Trump was doing, I think, was doing the right thing, but got caught up in the country has never seen anything like this. So he was expecting the same courtesy that Hillary got, which he, for probably decades, donated to, was in the same circles with, all this stuff, right? Obama got the courtesy. Bush certainly got the courtesy during 9/11. Give me a fucking break on that, right? So it's
yeah,
like they changed the rule book as he was there because they were feeling the pressure. I think because it's like he either I like a majority of what he did, but there's something going on. They got something. Or maybe that's the point, that they want you to think they got something. I hope they don't have a thing. I hope he has it figured out, and I hope the country's safe. But I'm like, this is an awful odd way to figure it out.
yeah. But you know what though? I
I mean,
think
people's
what
lives are getting
happens.
ruined. You know what I mean? In the
Yeah,
process,
yeah. I think what happens. I think
I
what
don't like what
happens
they're doing.
with,
You know, but
with every president, right? I think it's just like what we talked about earlier. Everybody that runs for office, the intent, the intent could indeed be good, right?
I
But
believe that.
then once they get in
Once you get
office,
read in under that security clearance,
yeah, I think once they get in, they get briefed and be like, okay, well, this is what you need to do, or this is what the folk we want you to do, and then you be like,
right?
well, yeah, but what about this? And then they'll be like, well, hey, look, we can't worry about that right now, right? This is this is
Can I tell
like
you like?
our
Can I tell you like a hyper focused uh example of what you're saying?
what's that? Go ahead.
Tomorrow where I live, there's a congressional race in the 13th district for primary. So this is a race on who will be the candidate who runs against the incumbent person. And this seat, if it flips, is important.
Uh huh. Oh,
And this individual who's running, Anna Paulina Luna, who's got like a Trump backing, turned out to be full of
yeah,
shit and backed by the Democrats. This is why this is important. They said this is a Trump, because she's running under the Republican ticket, but she's going to
yeah.
oppose, or whoever wins that seat will go against a Democrat, right?
Uh huh.
So Trump, the Trump machine, backed this woman
Yeah,
who's going against another guy who's lived here for 30 plus years. This guy Kevin Hazlett, who now they're neck and neck. And in local media, this is not going to be relevant to anybody, but this is how the country works. Because if this seat shifts, it changes how votes work. When this abortion bill happened, when this stuff happened, it's one vote. It's being decided by the vice president. Literally, it's that close. So this is a Trump-backed candidate who he blindly backed, meaning like he just backed Republican, 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 not knowing who they are. And they're saying like, why is this interesting, or why is this important? Because in a primary against the Democrat, she will lose. So they're
yeah,
backing this person. So there's a election before the election, essentially, right?
yeah, yeah.
And
That's usually the
they're
case.
backing this they're backing this Republican because they know that Democrat in the actual election could beat her.
Yeah. Okay, I got you. Okay, I buy that. Okay.
But no, not
So
just
so let,
masquerading, not just masquerading, super PACs creating the candidate, acting as if they could run, holding an election, because they know they're going to beat them because they got the dirt on the individual. It's acting. That's next level shit.
Yeah. So,
What do you?
hold on.
I hope that
I
doesn't
gotta
fall on
ask.
deaf ears. That shit is wild what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay then. Now,
But no, the
if
point the reason it's important is because he blindly said she's the Trump endorsed candidate. So everyone says who loves Trump would say, we will vote for her. But he's just doing that. Yeah, you're looking at one right now. Look at him. Curtis Harris. Come on, show me those guns. Blackmail is powerful.
you need to stop.
I'm sorry. No, but
But
it,
go
I think
ahead.
it's falling on deaf ears, but if I had a chance to break it down, it's really relevant because it's next
Uh-huh.
level.
But now, I'll tell you something else.
Blackmail is
I'll tell
one
you something
thing.
else.
Go ahead.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying
I'll
like
tell you something
blackmail
else.
is one thing, but blackmail
Yeah.
meaning like
Yeah.
I have something against you, but I'm actually who I say I am. This is the next step, which is I was never who I said I was. It's a Trojan horse.
Uh-huh.
That's like
Yeah.
next level.
Yeah. But I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna ask both of y'all this because, just like I said, it's been a while since we've done a podcast, and I really wish. I know you was in the process of moving, but I really wish we would have did a podcast on this one senator up there in New Jersey, right? Uh, uh, black female, right? I forget what her name is, right? But they called her the twerking senator, right? So she's out there on the beach somewhere, right? Got a little hat on. No, look. I mean, what
Listen,
you know?
listen. The girl,
And I
listen.
know
I didn't do
David.
a good
And
chance
I know you just
describing it. I didn't do a good job. Listen, this woman down here, Anna Paluna Lena, was an Air Force
uh,
veteran who, while in the Air Force, I need you to know who this is, by the way. While this is all came out to here locally, while in the Air Force, worked at a place called the Red Rose something, which is essentially she's a soldier working at Babes. She's a soldier working at a strip club. This is who we're talking about.
oh,
And
you
no,
know
no,
that's
no,
a
no,
big no-no.
no. It's
Go ahead.
a big no. But she's running as a combat veteran. She's had restraining orders against all these people in her family, her immediate circles, over and over and over. And it comes out that George Soros, Super PAC, is running her. Why? This is a super local race between a Republican and a Republican. And the issue is the reason they're running her is because if she beats this other legitimate Republican in the head-to-head race with the incumbent Democrat who holds that seat, they're going to bring all this shit out, and the Democrats hold the seat. You just can't have a legitimate fight. And it's like it gets crazier than that. Her brother-in-law, who is a captain, not a brother-in-law, I think it was her uncle. Like wait, and they raised her. She changed her name. Her last name was not Luna. It's like a German last name. Now all of a sudden she's like this Latina, super politician who's shaking her ass at the around Eglin Air Force Base, and then she finally she's an opportunist. Just listen,
Oh,
this
so
guy's
that okay. Well, that makes two. So that
that
makes two
shit's,
then.
but it's a super important district that will switch the House and the Senate.
Uh-huh. But just like I
And
said, this
yeah,
yeah, but she did. She was out on the beach,
so they're
right?
doing this in other places.
Yeah. So she was
Oh
like
God.
she I think she ain't even 30 years old, right? So basically she's out on the beach, right? She does a headstand, you know, she got a bikini on, right? And then she do a headstand, and then she trying to twerk her ass, right? And then so she stopped and she said, "Hey, vote for." Oh, I forget her last name, but She's like, hey, vote for
Listen,
Senator
listen. I will vote for you on OnlyFans. That just not representing the country.
But
Yeah, David, I'm telling you, if you guys look into this, the 13th congressional district in Florida, the primary is tomorrow. It's tomorrow. And you're like, why is this important? Kamala Harris just decided to vote because it was a deadlock tie in the Senate, right? That's why it's fucking important. It literally is these little places. It's like, oh, this is an opportunist, a person doing this or that. Yeah, just like Ilhan Omar, just like Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, just like the rest of these. Excuse me. I never would speak about a congressperson like this. These beautiful women, these smart people, these leaders of America, these powerful, strong, patriotic defender bullshit. These thoughts on Congress. Let's get that right. Literally, they're literally thoughts. This woman, they exposed her on local radio today on Florida Man Radio. It's like the biggest local, terrestrial radio show, but they do Twitch, they do YouTube, they do all of it. They had her family members saying, this bitch is crazy. She sued everybody. She lied about everything. And this other dude, who's the uncle, is like, he's an actual captain from the Marines, saying, that's not her real gun. She never been to combat. She never did this. Not only that, she was discharged. Look at her DD-214. They got the DD-214 out there. They got the whole goddamn thing. It's like, and not only that, hold on, was on Maxim.com kicking it out wide. Ooh. Yeah, you thought a handstand was good. There's levels to shit.
Hold on.
No. I'm not judging her for that. I'm judging the process.
Yeah, but you know what? Now this actually really goes back to my days at Fort Bliss.
Oh God, careful.
Now, and now that I think about it, I should have put it in this book, but I didn't want to really just really go out. I really didn't want to go there. So, so in either case,
exactly.
So in either case, it was this one lieutenant. In fact, she was the fire control platoon leader, right? And that's been so many years ago. So anybody that watched this, they probably ain't gonna know who the fuck I'm talking about, right? But
yeah, we're gonna use fake names. We're not trying to get sued here like Alex Jones.
Yeah. So in either case, you know what Fort Bliss is. You know what Fort Bliss or El Paso, Texas is like. It's like,
oh yeah,
it's like strip club, liquor store, hotel.
In the border, right there.
Hotel, right? So anyway, there was a strip club called Jaguars, right?
I've been there.
And
had a nice meal there.
So
at the time, it was just a nice restaurant, quote unquote.
So in our case, right?
Delicious tacos.
She was working at that. So listen, look, we all went there. We all went there one night, right? And remember the movie? What is that? Varsity Blues. When the whole
yes.
And they saw the damn teacher there, right? So when she saw us, man, are you talking about like the ultimate deer in the headlights look, right? I mean, because that was the deal. You can't be a motherfucking officer and then go shake your ass. You couldn't do that, right? And so
no shit. The same way Dennis Rodman is doing the same goddamn thing.
Yeah. So so she was just like, y'all ain't gonna say nothing. And I just told her, look, I ain't gonna say nothing. I mean, you give me a lap dance free of charge, hey. but my whole deal is that it happened. Put like this, wasn't nobody running for office back then, I don't think.
But yeah, but now they are.
Yeah, they are now. But but all I'm
and
saying
winning.
that if they was doing it back then, right? I mean, in fact, wasn't about running for office, but shit, here it is. This is damn near 30 years later. They doing it now. I already told you about the twerking senator. She gonna get votes nine
Wait a
times in
second,
10.
you talking about Operation Booty Shake?
Yeah, there
Sorry,
it
I
is
can't
right
remember.
there. There it is right there. That's the new operation. They already got the op order out
Hold
and
on.
everything.
I saw David. I saw Dave. I could take it a step further. I mean, we're
Uh,
making jokes, but it's not a joke. It's reality. That all that's factual.
yeah,
And I saw him bring up human trafficking. We're talking about gun running. He said, "Well, human
yeah,
trafficking and this and that." Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Several bases. There's towns, we'll call them, or areas where we'll call them clubs or bars or places where
yeah.
you go and hang out. And those places are fulfilled with dot dot
Mm-hmm.
dot human trafficked individuals. Whether they decide to be there, whether
Yeah.
they don't. So it's like stop human trafficking, stop this, stop that. But they're not there for the Korean population. They're not there for the Japanese population. They're not there for Italy. Hey, I'm a freak like that, David. Let's get that right. David is a
Yeah.
savage.
Hold
Look at
on.
this
Let me
guy.
get it out of there. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, listen,
So,
listen,
but
listen,
but you
listen.
know what
If they
though?
want to, that's fine. That doesn't mean that they need my vote. And here's another thing. I'm not a politician. I'm somebody who's a constituent. I'm somebody who's
Yeah.
a free citizen. I'm an adult male who enjoys those things. That's my prerogative. But when it
Yeah.
you're so worried about that infiltrating on January 6th, what else is in there? Big booty Latina coming your
Exactly.
way. I mean, it
Yeah.
sounds fun. Listen, there's
But you know
levels
what
to it.
though? With all of this, hold on.
But hold
But
on,
with
hold on.
all of this,
But the human trafficking thing is it's the next level.
yeah.
Whether it's drugs coming with Frank Lucas, whether it's gun running with Eric Holder and Obama, whether it's brothels being ran in makeshift towns around cities that we happen to be within Southwest Asia. What is it?
I just think that they are involved in every doggone thing possible, right?
No shit.
Uh, I just think that I just think like this now. I think now this is something that has always been going on. I just think that now it's actually like really being brought out to the forefront, right? Especially with who if you especially you looking at who's motherfucking vice president now, right? And out of all of the horror
Huh?
stories that you heard about
Huh?
Kamala Harris,
Huh?
huh?
Huh? Hey, his name's Curtis. Curtis Hapless, great Marine veteran. Oh, I just pooped my pants. God bless America.
So
Mrs. Harris,
hold on, wait a minute.
Kamala Harris. No, Curtis Harris. Mr. President, we talking about. Just shit my pants.
Yeah, yeah, we agree with you, David. Like, oh, he brought up yes, adrenochrome. Yes, I have heard of that. I have heard of
I'll be
that.
honest.
They got
I'm aware of the statement and the idea, but I have not looked into. I'll be honest. I wouldn't put anything past people, but the fact that R. Kelly gets I don't know how many years, and just Lane gets how many years, and Epstein got out. Like what something's going on. Now it could just be they're
yeah,
a bunch of freaks, and it's blackmail and espionage, or
yeah,
I'm not going to sit here and tell you. I'm on a live stream with nobody watching, right? So it's like I can't
Yeah,
sit here and tell you I know everything, but I know some things. I don't know. There might be something
yeah,
there, but it also could just be some creeps who are doing shit.
yeah. I know, right? But yeah, but
It's like it's so
David,
important. It's so
I've heard of
who
that
is it?
adrenochrome, David. That I've
Uh,
heard of that adrenochrome, right? And quiet as it's kept, that's what Hillary Clinton was taking. Uh, and remember when she
Where
collapsed?
the fuck is Hillary? Where's that corpse been?
Yeah, but remember when she
Oh shit,
collapsed?
Zachary, you done it now. David's gonna tell her. That's it. I'm out of here.
You know, so but but I'm actually like really starting to think that a lot of this stuff has been in place. It's just that now, slowly but surely, they're bringing it out on the forefront. Just like when people, just like when people say that social media just started. No, social media has been around just as long as I've been around, if not longer. Right? It's just for the simple fact that now that we got phones, camera phones, the internet, right? It's that we are allowed access to it now. You know, it really wouldn't surprise me if they had this, if they had internet as early as the 80s or the late 1970s, right? Because anytime,
Or how about this? How about thousands of years ago and shit got so fucked up that it's bounced?
yeah. So yeah, so
What does it say?
I he just said, and it goes deep. And witness are saying the same crap. You can't
Yeah,
take
yeah, yeah.
all this crap. So
Yeah, that's the
so
thing. It's
again,
like the attention span is so short on like when I see this stuff, it's like, damn, you know?
so I just look at it like people. It's a whole lot of technology out there that there's a lot. Put it like this: there's a lot of technology that we know about. And there's a lot of technology that we don't know about, right?
I'm
And
holding a phone right now that I'm sure is gonna get me in trouble. Um, but at this point, what else we got?
I mean, that's
You know what
about
I mean?
it.
You
I
know
mean,
what I mean by that? Like there, I was nervous to say some of the stuff I'm saying, but I'm like, or what? Or the country's gone and you're fucked, and you just then what?
exactly. So
And
I mean,
I'm trying to be like, what do you guys think about like it being a conspiracy to make people like to run somebody in the center? Because if you notice, people say it's either a left or a right. You know what I'm saying? You're either leftist or rightist, conservative or Republican, right?
yeah,
What if this is the 9/11, quote unquote, of the what
uh-huh.
we consider the the political system, because they're going to run somebody who's so moderate. Whether it's there have been rumors in Oprah and Obama, Al Romney, like a true moderate, because they make it so bad that we have to keep the machine running. And I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm running
Yeah.
as your next candidate. My name is Zachary. I'm just kidding. No, but I'm serious. Like that's
Well, I
pretty
tell you
fucking
what.
good.
I tell you what.
No, I'm serious. Like it's
No, I tell you
plausible.
what.
Not me
Okay.
running. That's not
Well, hold
plausible. I'm
on.
out of my mind.
Well,
I'm
now,
saying what they're doing.
yeah, because I was about to say, well, hey, I'm Apollos Harris, and I approve this message. So, but my whole thing.
Get down and lay down, bitch. And
So,
I approve this message.
I mean, but I just look at it like, you know,
Hold on. You said all you
I,
have to
you
do is
know,
twerk on the
it's,
beach? Hold on. If I
yeah,
twerk on the
apparently,
all right,
and
well,
you
let me
get
get in the
votes.
gym for about a month. I could have you train, train me, and then always hold on. What if I identify as a woman too? Oops, not supposed to say that.
So I'm just like, but
Excuse me,
you know,
sir,
again,
sir, sir, sir. Can you please
what?
identify me as a female, sir?
Okay, hold on, wait a minute. I got you. Hold on. Let's see what David said. Yep. Again, that's what it is, right?
Fucked up. It's not
I
good. It's not good
mean,
for anybody.
well, I tell you what. As long as Pelosi
Hold on, David.
don't do it,
Hold on. What if I identify as the Antichrist, but then I tell you to hold on. I identify as the Antichrist, but now I identify as Christ. So you must say that. Do you see the problem? You know what? Now I
yeah.
identify as a
But
pterodactyl.
there you
These
go
people,
again. I
that's
was
what they're doing.
I was waiting for that to come up,
But he's right.
but
Wait, what he's
but
saying.
again, yeah. But again, it goes back to what we've been talking about the whole time, right?
Before you get
The
going, could you please
intent
identify me as, excuse me, before you get going, can you please identify me as my proper identity?
with well, are you a pterodactyl or what?
No, it says Zachary Lee Kawan. I've already changed it 4 times and I haven't seen it change once.
Oh, okay. So
Sir,
okay, I'll do that.
sir, sir,
Exactly. I'll
I need
try
you to
to.
identify me. Excuse
So
me,
Zachary.
as a woman in this country. How dare you
Oh,
disrespect me?
oh,
If I was a man in this podcast, you would be treating me differently. This shit's gonna get me so fucked. I'm telling you.
no,
I identify as
but
Alex Jones. I'm sorry, I meant Alexandria Ocasio Cortez.
damn, this guy here.
I'm a
But
shapeshifter. Would you identify as a shapeshifter,
well, hell, if you gonna do that,
sir?
then I can
Do
identify.
not be
Well,
disrespectful.
if you gonna identify that, if you gonna, then I can. Well, I guess I can identify myself as Apollonia. So, hey, it is
I'm
what it
sorry. Can you
is.
repeat that?
So,
I wanna address you appropriately, sir. I want to address you appropriately. No, really. What was it?
man, I'm just saying, if you gonna do that, you can address me as Apollonia.
Well,
So,
I
uh,
identify myself all of a sudden as somebody who can't fucking hear. So fuck. Hold on. You know what was funny? And I want to create a lawsuit. Oh, they're shutting this shit down. Whoever's running this
no,
platform? Hey, I went to Chase Bank. You're not gonna believe this. I identified myself as a millionaire. You're not gonna believe what they did next. Are you there?
you coming in, and so it's like an echo in here. It's real.
Hello?
You coming in all. It's a bunch of static right now on your end.
That's probably the feds. Same people that came to Trump's house. They come in. I don't know what that is.
Static. Put it all static.
You there?
I can't hear. I mean, I can hear you, but it's yeah. Now I can hear
What
you
is
now.
the static, by the way?
No, it was like static, and then
No.
it
But
was like an
I've been hearing
echo.
the static. I've been
It
hearing the
was
static on my side the entire recording, which
oh
leads me to
damn.
believe
Okay,
it
well, it
would be
could be
like
something on my.
it would be as if somebody was recording it that was not on the call
Uh
or
huh.
the podcast.
Yeah. All right, David. So he was I have to get some
Yeah,
suggestions if I
you could
identify.
you could no hold on, you could try it, David. Why not?
So yeah, but yeah, but
Well, That static is odd.
and
It's probably the NSA.
yeah. So I'm like, so
You heard some static too?
damn. Uh, no, I'm good now. Everything is clear. It's clear on my end.
Hmm.
So
I've been hearing the
I can.
entire time.
All right. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. I guess he going to get the cigarettes
Oh
before
damn, he
that.
wasn't
So,
kidding. He's going to
but
get some cigarettes. That's the NSA saying, "Damn, they're
yeah.
talking about the static." We didn't know David was he identifies as an NSA agent or somebody who's working for. he's identifying somebody with a TS clearance in it. Uh oh. Uh oh.
Yeah. You see that? It's again. I'm hearing it.
Oh, I'm hearing the fuck out of it.
Hey,
I
so
think it might be I think it might be upsetting some
yeah.
people listening to
So
this. Well, I love you. Hey guys, whoever's listening,
yeah. Yeah. I was thinking that.
I just want you individuals to know something. I love you. I don't know why you're doing it. Probably came from a good place. You think you're doing something special. You think you're protecting the country. Honestly, what the fuck are you doing? What is this? This is protecting the country. What you need to be doing is looking at these big booty Latinas about to storm the Capitol.
So if anything, so
They
I tell
hate
you
it.
what. Let's
Kurt, they hate what I'm saying, my man. I'm telling you. Damn, I'm getting big static.
so let's
You want to hear something wild?
let
Hey, Kurt.
yeah,
Can you hear me?
they really block whatever it is.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it's a lot of
Hey,
static. It's bad.
let's cut it off. We'll end the
I
podcast
can
real
hear
quick,
you,
and
but
I'm gonna call you
it's really
offline.
bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of free
All right,
speech.
we'll do
They
that.
cancel Alex Jones. Now they want to cancel us.
So we'll talk. We'll
Huh?
finish this up uh,
Whoa.
yeah, because like right now you sound like it's an echo on top of static. So, but in other case, um, difficult as always. But hey, look, I sincerely hope everybody enjoyed it. We're gonna try to do this like once a week. Hey, y'all.